Here's a fun one. I came across this last week and it made me smile. Speaking of archiving things, why Gen Z loves cassette tapes. Now you're talking my language, baby. There are some things that are fundamental to a Gen Xer such as myself. And music, first of all, music, and we're going to have another discussion about how music is dying. But music is so fundamental to humanity that it cannot be overstated. And our main conveyance of music back in the day was cassette tapes for a long, long time. And apparently it's coming back. You know, we had the thing where the hipsters were buying vinyl and so on and so forth because, you know, there really is a difference between digital music and non-digital music if you play something on vinyl, and it's visceral. It's something that you can't touch, but it really is. There really is a difference. But anyway, so Gen Z's buying cassette tapes, and one guy points out that it's hilarious because he says, this is fun. It seems that many Gen Zers are purchasing audio cassette tapes without having anything to play them on, and they seem to have no idea how they work. So that is just delightful in and of itself. Trends become trends because who knows why, and so you go out and follow the trend and you buy cassette tapes, I don't know, at a secondhand store, I guess. And what do you do with it? You don't even know what it is. You don't know how it works. You don't know what it is, and nobody has a cassette player anymore. And what do you do? Walk around with this cassette tape that you got and just like try to put it on top of your phone and see if it airplays through it. And someone else points out that their parents or grandparents are busting out the old Walkmans. If you're not old enough to know what that is, that's a portable cassette player that plays these cassette tapes on which music is recorded or spoken voices. If you were cool enough to have a tape recorder that played one of these cassette tapes, then you could record yourself singing or talking or doing something like that. So it's an audio delivery mechanism. And so the parents and grandparents are busting out their cassette players if they still have it and showing their Gen Z kids how they work and what they do. And again, you can be delighted at the headline and some of the ways you can sort of poke fun at the trend. But this goes back to what I was saying about archiving and about physical copies of things. The miracle, I think music is I think music, as I said, is fundamentally part of humanity. And I love that music is so readily available to the masses, but I do not like that it is fleeting, non-permanent, non-tangible. Most music is just being produced to put content out. And music has become, to quote Rick Beato, very low information. And fortunately, it would seem that Gen Z is feeling this, whether they know it or not. They seem to be seeking out tangible things, authentic. They're seeking authenticity. And they're going out and getting things that they can touch and they can hold and they can keep. Because think about this, if you're a digital native, if you were born about 2010, do you have anything? Does anything, because your parents shoved all this digital shit into your face and a phone in your hand in the crib and hooked you on that heroin needle just like they were, being very codependent. Do you have anything meaningful in your life that you can hold that's yours? Hopefully you have good parents who have taught you the value of these things and have shared across generational boundaries their experiences, because we've burned the bridges. We've done our best to burn the bridges between the generation gaps. And if we do that long enough, then we're going to get to a generation that has no connection back to the previous generation and therefore has no culture, because culture is built. It's not invented. Culture is built over time, taking the good things from the past, the good and useful things from the past, allowing the bad and useless things from the past to die, a natural death, adding your own stuff, and then passing it forward to the next generation or to your children so that they can repeat that cycle. If you just burn that bridge and you have no connection between generations, you're just doing stuff. You're not engendering a culture. You're just doing random crap. And I don't believe that's how humanity is supposed to work. So I really enjoyed seeing that about Gen Z loving, buying cassette tapes and not having any idea what to do with them.